Hello my friends, welcome to Been My Pleasure. My name is JC. Joining me today is my pixelated friend Hector. Hector, today we're going to answer a letter from a guest. Are you ready for that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Today's letter from guest reads as paraphrased because this is actually something that somebody talked to me about at my restaurant when they heard about this show. And they said, go ahead and phrase it the way you want to. And I said, okay, I will. But this is essentially it. They were at a restaurant the other night having a small dessert after their meal. When they were done with their dessert, they asked for another one for their friend. That server, get this, that server took the plate that they had been using, went back and back, used that same plate, put a dessert on top of it, yes, and brought it back out to the table.
No.
Yes.
No.
She says to me, WTF, and I don't think she meant, well, that's fine. Opinions?
The fact that that's real is just amazes me sometimes. I mean,
You don't even know.
I don't even know how to even explain how I feel right now. Okay.
To our guests, that is unacceptable. I don't,
I don't feel comfortable. Did this really happen? Did this really?
This really happened?
Jesus Christ.
I know.
Sorry about that.
No, I know. We are really sorry about that. All right. Guests at home, that shouldn't happen. Servers, hosts, cooks, chefs watching, don't use the same plate for a different item, dish, or whatever. That's not acceptable. I don't know how to respond to that other than
just
say don't do that.
No.
I've seen people who, I've had guests in the past tending bar that have refused to take a new glass because they want their beer in the same beer glass all night long. And I don't feel comfortable with that.
Oh yeah, I feel like it's
When you're looking at food items especially, you're probably violating some health codes.
I definitely.
So you wouldn't do that, Hector?
No, not at all. Would you asking me to use the same fork? You mind using it? No, it's fine. We wash them in the back for a reason. We wash them in the back.
Yeah, that's true. We do. We wash them in the back for a reason. All right. Have you ever used... well, I mentioned something, and I don't like doing this, but as I said, I've had guests as a bartender, and I actually use this method sometimes too. I had a guest that gin and tonics with one lime, short, and wanted the same glass every time, and kept the lime in it. So every time there was a lime in there, that was how this guest kept count of how many drinks they'd have. I didn't feel comfortable doing that. They insisted. They provided an enormously huge gratuity in advance for me to do this.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So,
yeah.
This time.
Yeah. Well,
and I do that too now, from time to time.
Yeah.
Especially at home, when I'm making my own. I do it at home. I'll tell you right now, if I have like a pizza or a cheesecake, and I'm not eating it right out of the box.
I do the same thing. Yeah.
We all do this at home.
At home, yeah.
This is a restaurant. This is a professional environment. Do not use the same plate to re-serve a guest. In fact, don't use that same plate to re-serve anybody. Taking it back, put it in the GU, get it cleaned, get a new fresh plate. How busy must you have been that you had to use that same plate? It doesn't even present similarly. Could you imagine, in the concept we worked in, we had that chocolate cake with ice cream on the side?
Yeah.
And like whipped cream. Could you imagine it's all dirty with all the delicious goodness of chocolate and ice cream? Sure, with melted ice cream all over it, and then you put another cake and another scoop of ice cream, and now it's like a soupy looking place.
I'm not paying money to use a dirty plate.
Got that right. Well, I think that'll lead into our next one. That was a fast letter, one I had to get off my chest because they told me about it and I could not believe it. Do not use the same plates. Don't use the same utensils. Don't even use the same glass for Pepsi or lemonade or beer. Despite the fact I told you that I've done this in the past, do not do it. Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Anything to add?
Just don't do it. Just do it.
Seemed pretty straightforward. All right, well, Hector, thank you for joining me. Again, excellent reactions. I'm sorry they were all pixelated.
Yeah.
Thank you, my friends, for joining me. If you've enjoyed this content and would like to see more, by all means, click on my pixelated friend's face to subscribe to this channel. If you thought it was humorous, give us a thumbs up. If you can't believe that it happened, give us a thumbs down. I'm telling you, it happened. I trust this guest. However, that being said, until next time, I assure you, it's been my pleasure.